Trios Tournament continues in episode 12 of season 2 of Lucha Underground. Blows the roof off the place. Lucha. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here, and this is my review of episode number 12, Three's a Crowd. And speaking of Three's a Crowd, it kicks off with some major drama in Cueto's office. Cage, Taya, and Mundo are all there, and Cueto, it just every week it comes up with something crazy or funny. Talking about, can I get you guys to behave in my office? I just got this window fixed again. Last season it was, the feud between Mundo and Alberto Del Rio, El Patron, and now Cage and. Cueto's, he's ready to put some bars on the windows. I think that'd be hilarious. And the introduction of, him introducing himself to Taya, and Taya's like, I know who you are, and he's like, and the desk sign, perfect for Cueto and his ego. I'm kind of a big deal. Yeah, he is. It's one of the best characters of the show, and so we get that foreshadowing towards the main event of the end of this episode. Now, in the temple, we kick it off with a match between Argenis and Killshot. Now, in my opinion, Argenis used to be like up there as far as talent with like Angelico or Aerostar or some of those guys, but I don't know. He seemed, I don't know if it was just me or what. He just seemed off in this match against Killshot. But nonetheless, Killshot certainly has a bigger focus in this match. He comes out with a slightly different look. He's got the military vest on, and he's got the dog tags, and they really focus on that. He hangs him up in the corner, and then he prays, or he meditates for a minute. But man, this was a solid match. This really was. A lot of fun, a lot of crazy moves, and one thing like they mentioned is, Killshot's not a big guy, but the guy is. It's kind of like looking at a guy like Cesaro, where he's built, but he doesn't look, big like Big E big, like massive muscles. I like Cage. But his strength is, how he just, whipped around Argenis in this match was crazy. And that driver that finished the match, holy cow, that was incredible. Next, we have a match for one of the 7 medallions for the Gift of the Gods. But before, I shouldn't jump too far ahead too quickly. We had a segment in Cueto's office. Actually, I'm going to back it up a little more. The segment outside Cueto's office where Black Lotus is guard. She's standing guard, which still it's kind of funny, but it just shows you how powerful a character like Black Lotus is. So Dragon Azteca Jr. approaches her, and he's talking to her about the death of their master. And she lies to him about who killed him. She tells him that Matanza killed Dragon Azteca, and she killed him. So we get that, a little flashback to that, that's that outside story. And she even, tells him that, we'll get our revenge soon, but you gotta wait because, Matanza's too powerful. So a lot of head games going on here. It's really interesting. So, and then we go inside Queto's office, and we see some new blood in the temple. Daga, who is a young guy out of the AAA scene down in Mexico. And man, you want to talk about egos. You could have cut the ego tension in that office with a knife. I don't know whose ego stacked higher, honestly, because Cueto always comes off as cocky, and sometimes he has that more genuine side as well. But this time he was just, straight up being the cocky ass boss he is. But Daga, oh my God, he's like, hey, they haven't seen me. Oh man. So, he's quite boastful for never being seen by a lot of Lucha Underground fans before. Or never ever. Unless you watch the AAA stuff as well. And we do get a little background. I tried to do a little bit of research before this. I couldn't find much on Daga other than hearing during the match that he used to be a partner with Tejano. So we get this match with Daga versus Tejano for one of the 7 Gift of the Gods medallions. And I'm still laughing about how cocky Daga was in that office. Holy crap. You almost thought he was so cocky he was like the son of Cueto. His son of Cueto. But yeah, this was a great match. Some tremendous spots. It was a great example, like they said during the match, of the Lucha Libre style of wrestling. But they also said that Daga has, how do they say it? He's got that Japanese style as well, as in he works stiff. So, but yeah, we saw that in this match. And some parts were a little slowed down because it looked like they said like there was a potential injury of Daga, something that he was holding his left arm and wasn't always as flexible. But towards the end of the match, he looked fine. So I don't know if that was just something to get himself over with this new crowd. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if he's back much in the future or not. But yeah. Great match between these two. Tejano, who, just to reflect quickly before I wrap up this little segment. And you could tell the egos in this ring between, Tejano being a cocky young guy and Daga, and you could tell they have that relationship where they know each other, but now they're confronting each other. So that was quite evident in this match. But yeah, Tejano wins the first of the 7 Gift of the Gods medallions. Great segment. So we'll have to see, if we see more of Daga in the future, or if this is a one-off. We'll have to see. Next, Katrina comes to Mil Muertes as he's like in his little dojo, his little temple area. He's meditating, praying, whatever he's doing, and she informs him that the disciples of death have been allowed to enter the Trios Championship tournament. And it's we get another segment showing like her power. It's crazy, you got to think that somewhere down the line we're really going to see a full dose of how powerful she is. She says, the disciples of death beg your forgiveness, and they promise not to fail you again. And she as she's saying this, she's raising the stone, and then the disciples appear out of nowhere through the lightning that we've seen in the little backstage segments before, and then they kneel down before Muertes, and then he gets up and he turns around. He's like, rise, and then she tells him to leave, and then she tells him that he's gonna face Matanza next week for the championship. So we get another championship match. This is so awesome with Matanza, and we saw this coming because when was it last week when Mil Muertes saved Phoenix and yet wanted to attack. I'm sure his sole goal wasn't to save Phoenix, but he did. But he wanted to attack Matanza and get his attention. Well, he certainly did, because he's going to meet him next week. It's so awesome to see a fighting champ, and to see two beasts like Mil Muertes and Matanza go at it. This is going to be absolutely sick. I can't wait to see this next week. But she warns him that he has, devastating powers, and that he may even be more powerful than the earthquake that did him in when he was younger. And this just infuriates Muertes and pisses him off to no end, and we get the scream, the arms out, like the Ultimate Warrior. You gotta think that maybe someone like Mil Muertes' character is a bit of an homage to the Ultimate Warrior. I would not be surprised one bit. I've never heard that, but that just popped in my head, and thought I'd share that. I could totally see that. In this last match, the main event, the Trios tournament, continuing round one, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Azteca Jr. and Prince Puma versus Mundo, Itaya, and Cage. This, first of all, hats off to Matt Striker for calling this. I don't think too many people announcing today, the good ones, can keep up with this kind of action. Hats off to Matt Striker for just nailing it. It was so much. A, it was fun to watch it. B, it was fun to listen to it. How many times have you heard people talk about, oh, yeah, this match was great, but I had to turn the volume down because the announcers wouldn't shut up and stop bitching at each other? How many times have you heard JBL argue and bitch and moan about this, that, and the other thing, not even pertaining to the match and just screaming his head off, sounding like a freaking idiot. And it's sickening. It really does wreck the match. You know, I understand when you have, you know, a play-by-play guy and a color guy. I get that, but you know, if you want to hear how it works well, listen to Mauro Ranallo and Jerry Lawler. They work well together. You know, Jerry as like the heel commentator, he does that well. You know, he feeds off of Mauro Ranallo, and he doesn't go off on a million different stupid rants. Vampiro and Matt Striker work very well together because Vampiro is not the biggest play-by-play guy, but he's a good color guy, and you know, he feeds off of Matt. And so many times he's so caught up in the action in the ring, he just shuts up for like half the match and lets Matt do his stuff. It's awesome, and that's not a knock on Vampiro. Vampiro is incredible, you know, because Matt will throw at the Vampiro when he needs to. He'll be like, "Hey, I don't know too much about this guy. Can you school these people on who this guy is?" And Vampiro will, you know, especially if it's someone more related to like the AAA brand down in Mexico, not USA based. So that being said, in this match, so much fun. The chemistry between Rey Mysterio and Puma and Azteca Jr. just absolutely incredible. They worked so well, and the chemistry between Mundo and Taya worked well, not between Cage and the other two. And the spots in this match were tremendous. All the high flying stuff from, you know, Rey Mysterio's team. I don't know if you call him the team captain. All the three guys were good. But the spots that they had, you know, they had those moments where they were beaten down and they had to get that hot tag and to fight their way back to the corner. And then, you know, it just everything flowed so well. And Cage's power, dear God, caught both Azteca Jr. and Puma and then throws them both because he's a machine. Oh man, just so much fun. This is what good tag team wrestling is. You know, you got your little bit of high spots, you get your little bit of, well, a lot of high spots, but you get your different parts in there. You get your chemistry in there. You got your shenanigans between Taya and Mundo, shenanigans throughout this match. Oh my God, it was crazy. Taya is, you know, the whole all the women in this brand of Lucha Underground is so good, and Taya is quickly becoming one of my favorites. And yeah, and he mentioned in the match, Stryker says about Taya that, you know, don't forget her debut was it was like a no DQ match or whatever it was with Cage, and they knocked the shit out of each other, and she still came back because she ended up going through, you know, several tables at the end, and she was back and just kicking ass in this, just unbelievable. They really picked a good one to pair up with Mundo. Those two are great together. So I can't wait to see where else this goes. Obviously, stuff is not going to be done between Mundo and Cage. And Taya's got that certain look about her. Like okay, I know I've talked about she's an ass kicker, but can Mundo trust her? Because there was a couple times when she was kind of looking at Cage like I don't know if she liked him or if she was just trying to figure him out, studying him. I don't know. I wonder if Mundo can really trust her. We'll have to see. Because she looks like a slick one, She really does. She's awesome. I love Taya. So, yeah, great episode. Oh, in the end, quick segment of Cueto talking to Matanza in the cage, talking about how to sum it up, that how important he was, and when you take those special things of importance and you have to lock him away, and he's like, I hope you understand why you're locked up because you're special. Right, Cueto, he's special. He's and then he wants him to bring. Talking about how he's going to face Mil Muertes next week. Oh my God, yeah, I can't wait for that. It's like, just when you get done enjoying the trios match and you get the reminder, hey, don't forget we got that championship match next week. That's going to be sick. Muertes versus Matanza. Oh, and if I didn't mention it, Rey Mysterio and his team win. Just so much fun. I smiled so big during this match. So fun to watch. Great episode. And number 13 coming up next week with Muertes versus Matanza. Can't wait for that one. Thanks for watching.